Welcome. Yo, boy. Teriyaki 6ix9ine. By the way, just so people would know, Six Nine isn't his name. And that's unusual. We have no alert going out for the video. How mysterious. Now, let's get into this because we want it to be said. 6ix9ine was arrested again yesterday, and he first, he rebranded himself ever since the trial. He's not Teriyaki 6ix9ine no more. Meaning, let me say his real name. He was Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's not Tekashi 6ix9ine anymore. He's 6ix9ine because Tekashi was suing for that right to his name, saying that he took it from this character or whatever. So Tekashi 6ix9ine is not Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's now rebranded himself as 6ix9ine. That's why they address him now as 6ix9ine. Now, just so we can get through that, what's up, Corey? Appreciate it. What's up, Jamil? Yo, Giants, hopefully they get Belichick. Now, Teriyaki 6ix9ine, the guy you see right there, his problem is he believes he's bigger than the law. The law don't apply to him. He could do whatever he wants, and nothing is supposed to happen. That's what he feels. He feels like nothing can touch him. Nobody can question anything that he does. He's above the law. Now, why would anyone feel that comfortable? Now, here's a person Six Ways to Sunday has had a reputation of being an impossible human being to deal with. Out of control in many instances, right? He's out of control. So what 6ix9ine decided to do, good people, was get himself in trouble going to Las Vegas without permission, 6 months left on his probation. Not only that, he lied about it, then avoided being drug tested. Then when they did get him to test to take it, he tested positive for methamphetamines. And now he's on the mercy of the court, hoping he's not arrested for the last 6 months remaining of his probation. Well, the U.S. Marshals came and grabbed him and brought him in. They got Judge Engelmeyer, who came in and said, we're here on a violation of supervised release, is what you were under. The department was supposed to appear at 9:30, but they didn't. So you was arrested at 10:30. So they need to arraign him on 3 violations. So the judge said, Mr. Lazario, turn your phone off. And he says, your mind clear? Talking to 6ix9ine, he says, yes, Your Honor. Have you discussed what happened with Mr. Lazario? He said, I live in Florida. First time I'm seeing him. He said, you're charged with traveling to Las Vegas without permission, not turning up for drug testing, and using meth. How do you plead? Not guilty. Not guilty. He starts it right off with not guilty. See, he's the person that he feels that the rules don't apply to him. He's Gummo. Rules don't apply to Gummo. What? You stupid. Rules don't apply to me. I'm Gummo. Stupid. No, you going out there doing a show without permission on supervised release when 6 months, you couldn't survive 6 months. Of course, he got money to do what he's doing because they're going to keep him making money. He has Lucian Grange. Lucian Grange put him under his son's record label, got him to a deal, and pushed him out here to the world. So even after he snitched, he got all this social media. He's going to break the internet. They did all this fake traffic and hits. Then he started talking about people like Scooter Braun, and I'm like, woo, buddy boy. You finna talk about Scooter Braun? Scooter said, okay. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. Yeah, they babysitting him because they believe they can make money off of him still. He could generate a lot of money with these young kids and all that. You're stupid! And they be taking him out all around the country. Because here, only in the United States do we know about the snitching and all that. Over and some people in India, they was ready to whoop him over there, calling him a rat. But other places, they don't really care. There's some Latinos that love to play some 6ix9ine. Almost got into it with one of them at the bar. Like, dog, you playing a rat. I don't care, dog. The music is what though. This music is trash. So the judge has to remind this man that he was granted a compassionate release during the coronavirus, citing his sensitivity to the situation. So during the time he traveled to the DR, where he got arrested on a domestic, and then he got a speeding ticket in Florida for doing almost 200 miles an hour in an unregistered car. Now that ticket been resolved. You know, they got that taken care of, but his attorney accused the prosecutors and the DR of fabricating evidence against his client in basically an extortion case. Oh yeah, all of these things was to spin doctors. So Inner City Press, and don't forget to follow them on Twitter. Yeah, go to Inner City Press, and they break it down because they be in the courtroom. They get all the texts. Those guys make it happen. So when he said not guilty, the AUSA, they said, what is the basis of the charges? So Officer Bryce of the Southern District of Florida came over and said, well, on September the 7th, he went to Las Vegas without receiving any permission. They want to amend or supersede with any details of the weekend on Saturday. The defendant went to Sarasota. When confronted, he denied being there. There was proof. The AUSA, we all know about that because of power. Remember, Angela was AUSA. That's a lawyer for, you know, the police and lawyers. So anyway, the attorney for the United States of America. They're not all like Angela. You know, they're not all, I don't think she's sleeping with 6ix9ine. I don't believe Angela is sleeping with 6ix9ine. It's like, what Angela doing? She sleeping with 6ix9ine? He gonna be Angela. Angela, I need you to go in there. Tell them I wasn't there. I can't do that. You don't love me then. Stupid. Mm-mm. Well, that's because most people don't realize what they're doing is wrong. A lot of the stuff or the acts that people are doing doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of people who are, you know, advantageous about situations. They want scenarios to go the way they feel it should be and not the way that it's structured. And when you see that, you start seeing the results of that and people start spiraling. So right away, the AUSA is putting out there that she said 2 times in the last 2 weeks he tested positive for meth. We got a letter from Dr. Rebecca Wang in Florida. They were like, do you have it? The judge said, no, I don't got that letter. So the AUSA is like, I'll show it to the defense first. And they was like, please do. So she shows the defense the letter, and then she gives it to the judge. She says, now I have read them. They are backdated to August and September, received today. They are designed to provide an explanation of why he tested positive for meth, including Adderall and Digitox or whatever, Digochin, whatever. The judge said, are you saying they're not from Dr. Wayne? No. So the AUSA said there is skepticism about the dating of this letter, and the defendant was unable to provide prescription bottles. So the judge said, so is it through black market means? She's like, or it's just a way to try to explain a positive meth test. So the judge said, I granted him compassionate release in light of the COVID sensitivity, but he's still under supervision. Wasn't he in the DR arrested and not able to leave? Does that count towards running of his supervised release? She said, let me check. You don't know that as an AUSA? Ooh, you should know that already. So the judge said, while in the DR, he was unable to violate U.S. law. So how does his time there count towards his suspension release? I don't get that. And the AUSA said, well, I'm told that as long as he's at liberty, even if he's not in the U.S., it counts towards his supervised release. The judge said, I'm told he paid his financial duty. He has 160 hours of community service left in his next 6 months. There are other significant issues. There were more physical, the judge said there was the physical altercation in the DR, the domestic situation, speeding ticket in Florida, that was apparently resolved. He's going to Russia on October the 19th. He said he was going to Russia on October the 19th. The judge said, so we have to decide when we will have this evidence hearing and what to do with Mr. Hernandez until then. And the AUSA said, we can move quickly. The judge says, are we like looking at a deposition here? And the defense is like, I like that. These are factors that weigh in his favor. You will need to, the judge said, you will need to confer with him. He is a liberty interest. And what if we reconvene next Thursday at 9 a.m.? What I envision, Mr. Lazario, is there any deposition we will have? He said November the 8th. That's what she got. And the judge said, I can't do that. How about November the 12th? AUSA, well, that's tough too. So the judge said, so November the 12th. And 6ix9ine's lawyer says, how about the 7th? And the AUSA said, I strongly prefer November the 12th. The judge said the 12th then, a letter by noon on the 7th, the defense on the 8th. Let's orally amend the specifications in writing is better. So let's address detention or release before November 12th. And the government, so they said, we believe detention is appropriate. He is a risk not to return, compound by the conduct this weekend, knowing he had a VOSR proceeding, leaving and being dishonest. There's the conduct in the DR while ordered to remain there and to stand trial, instead left through Haiti, then left Haiti back to the U.S. He boasted about this on his own podcast. Stupid. Stupid. That does not bode well for him returning here. On that theory, that action speaks louder than words, the judge says. He also poses a danger to himself with controlled substances. We ask that he be detained. Judge said, Mr. Lazario, continue him on release. So 6ix9ine lawyer wants to continue him on release. So 6ix9ine's lawyer comes up there and says, he went to Las Vegas to perform before 20,000 people to try to survive. It just says survive financially, I mean, Your Honor. He thought he texted probation. He thought he texted probation. He was supposed to, the judge like, he's supposed to get a permission 2 weeks in advance. And then 6ix9ine's lawyer's like, he has to pay his own security. He's never accepted the government's offer of security. Dr. Wong, probation required him to attend in 2023. He did not backdate them. They are legit. He was prescribed Adderall for a medical condition. The judge said, it seems like a fruitful issue to litigate. He said he flew from Florida to Newark last night and stayed in a hotel there. So he was an hour late. That's why they want to detain him. He understands the court gave him a break. Let him out. He got a break and delivered deservingly so. He, as a cooperator, listen, the judge said this about 6ix9ine. He got a break. And deservedly so as a cooperator. But there is a pattern, including the conduct in the DR. It reflects a full spectrum of disregard of the law. And his lawyer said it's not intentional. The DR is totally corrupt. He was being extorted by the judge. So the judge is like, look, he's sued by a former girlfriend in Florida. Everything can't be at someone else's fault. The lawyer said he's different than you or I. He is an entertainer. He has a duty to turn square corners and not musical riffs. His lawyer was like, he would return on the 12th. The MDC is not a good place to be. It's just like his actions are checking him in there. I don't have confidence he will show up. The judge is saying that. I'm going to detain him until the hearing in 2 weeks from now. And then 6ix9ine want to speak for himself. He tell the lawyer he wants to talk. This is where it gets crazy, y'all. Yep, this is where it's going to get crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is where it really got nuts. Tekashi decided to speak to the judge against his lawyer's suggestion. 6ix9ine knows better than his lawyer and says, I'm going to speak to the judge. I don't think that's a good idea. Shut up, stupid. You're dumb. So he wanted to come in there right away. And the lawyer said, my client would like to address you. I don't have a problem with that. Judge said, Mr. Hernandez, anything you say can and will be held against you. Do you understand? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. So he starts off and said, first, I want to apologize for arriving late this morning. I don't live in New York. I live in Florida. I woke up late. I was released on April 2nd, 2020. I've been on probation since. This dude said, listen, this is like somebody coming in late to work. I want to first apologize for arriving late this morning. I don't live in New York. I live in Florida. I woke up late. Have you ever heard that? Somebody come in late to work, be like, man, my bad. I woke up late. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That's your fault. That's nobody's fault but your own. No accountability. Not doing himself any favors here with the judge. Judge said, move away from the microphone. I think you'll understand that. He said, I know my counsel told me not to speak, but the truth stays the same. I've sat with AUSA Rabold many times. You're my judge. I know you are strict, how strict you are. My goal is not to be in front of you ever. You are a smart person. I can't lie to you. I'm not a piece of it. I'm not a bad person. I apologize. I'm coming down to my last 6 months on probation. In the last 6 months, why would I mess that up now? My case was transferred to Florida a couple of months ago. Their system is different. Their system is different, more strict. The thing about September 7th, and the judge said, I would advise you not to talk about that. He goes into talking about that. I performed at the T-Mobile Arena. I thought I had permission. I posted it. I didn't get a text back. I'm human. I have that system. I tested positive for marijuana. Judge, you were told to get permission 2 weeks in advance. 6ix9ine. My system with SDNY Manhattan was different. I'm owning up. I performed in front of 20,000 people. I know technically it's wrong. My life for the last 4 years has been bad, bro. I've been jumped at a gym for cooperating. I have this for life. I'm human, bro. Judge, Mr. Hernandez, is there anything further? Yes, freedom is everything to me. Adderall has meth in it. It's just a mistake. Judge, you didn't show up for drug testing. I'm not requiring you to answer that. August 27, I tested positive. So every Wednesday, a drug test, you take a P test. I said, that's a lie. That's what 6ix9ine said. When my hair test came back, okay, I thought it was a win. No more testing. Judge says, your testimony is you thought you had the right? Yes. Yes. It was just a misunderstanding. I thought, Judge, it'll be interesting. The judge said, I'll be interested in that on November the 12th. Now he's totally convinced you ain't getting out of jail. You staying in jail. He said, I'll be interested more in hearing more about that on November the 12th. I can't resolve it now. Another court directed you not to leave the country. You left. You can call that court corrupt and that country corrupt, but you left. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Judge adjourned. So he's got 2 weeks locked up with the Diddy man. Yep. But that's what he does. This dude made it worse. He made everything worse. He went there and he's saying all this stuff. It's on the record now. Now your lawyer, you make it. This is why the lawyer tells you, I don't want you talking to the judge because he don't care about you telling the truth. The lawyer got to spin this in a way you go home. You weaken what he could use to turn around when they got you actually saying it on the record. You think you're doing good, you're doing bad, sir. So you already told them, hey, I did this. It was a misunderstanding. Now they can't spin it around and saying, hey, this guy's got a problem. You know, it's medical. He's got a medical thing. It's classified. He had to do this. He thought he had permission. He was supposed to notify within 2 weeks. They could have easily got that beat and said, hey, it was a last minute thing. He didn't have 2 weeks when he got booked. He could have done it that way. I wasn't booked in 2 weeks. You know, we can do that until the money's there. You know, they could say someone's going to be there, but I'm in the entertainment world. I'm not a regular civilian. So 2 weeks might be suffice for a person that's working a 9 to 5, but I'm going somewhere where, you know, 20,000 people is going to be. It's going to be on broadcast everywhere. So it's not like I'm a risk, like I'm leaving the country. You know exactly where I'm going to be. You know exactly the situation. So it's entirely different than someone operating a 9 to 5. If 6ix9ine lawyer was smart, he would have tried to reiterate that to the judge over the 2 weeks that would nullify that 2-week notification when it's posted everywhere that where he's going to be. He's a high profile client. That's what the lawyer should have been pushing for, that I have a high profile client. He's not an average 9 to 5 guy. So where the 2 weeks would be suffice for them, because you probably wouldn't know where in the world they're going to be. But the fact that his international case in DC, where all of the laws that would basically violate his probation, keeping him out of the country, was the smartest thing for them to do, is to keep him out of the United States. So therefore, he couldn't violate United States laws. So that's why, you know, it was easier for them to keep him out of the United States than to have him be in the United States. And the Grange family has been moving him around. No, Mace is he said with the walls up in prison. That's right, y'all. Hit the like button up. The super chat works. All the wonderful things that they're doing with the super chat. Appreciate that. So not only is the super chat working, there's a lot of stuff in development right now. The Cash App is Carcino. Y'all see that up there? Dennis Schroeder is MVP candidate. Outplaying Jalen Brunson. I'm loving that. Thanks, Outlaw, for putting up the Patreon. Patreon.com. Now, there's a lot of other things that people didn't see in the situation dealing with 6ix9ine, but my thing is clear. When 6ix9ine came around and was doing what he was doing, nobody had anything other than to say. He was ratting on everybody, but he'll be off probation, but he'll still be required to come in and cooperate with the police anytime they want for about the next 20 years. Get PayPal. All you got to do is go to, I got PayPal actually. Kevo74 at PayPal. What is it? Kevo 74. I believe that's what it is. Oh, you saw part 2 of my LLC video. I'm revealing my age? No, I'm not. You have no idea what 7 and 4 means. Cino was in his 40s. Daniel Fitzenwell Hernandez. Yeah, so here's the thing. 6ix9ine don't believe the rules apply to him. If he thinks he can whine and cry in front of a judge, people are gonna feel sorry for him. He got beat for snitching. And let's go through this snitching thing one time so people can understand what snitching really is and isn't. People are confused. Now, let's unclog your confusions about snitching. All right? It's like this, because I want to be very clear about this when it comes to the snitching whole progression. What is snitching? If you're a civilian, meaning that you're not in a gang, right? And they say, well, civilians can't get it. Civilians can get it. If you see something that goes down and it got nothing to do with you, and you want to go tell the police what you saw, that's snitching. Civilian, gang member or not, you've involved yourself in that situation. You told. You got involved and you told on somebody else, and it had nothing to do with you whatsoever. You interjected yourself in there. That's telling. That's snitching. No matter what. So, gang member or civilian, you will get it just for that, because you involving yourself in that situation. Now, here's the situation. If somebody is, you're not in the gang or whatever, even if you're in a gang, that depends on their laws. It would probably get handled a little differently. But let's say you're just a regular person though. Somebody else do something. They blaming you. Saying, I ain't do it. He did it. And you say, oh, no, 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 no. That motherfucking did it. Not me. That ain't snitching. That's called defending yourself. That's not snitching. Because they've been like, I would have never said nothing about you until you tried to blame me and have me go down for something you did. So I'm not snitching. I'm defending myself from you trying to railroad me and throw me under the bus. Now, in a gang life, In the gang world, you're not even supposed to deal with police. They supposed to, in the gang world, they handle that in-house, supposedly. But now we've seen that has not been the case. No, 6ix9ine's a rat and a snitch because here's the thing. He was participant in most of the crimes and some of the crimes he was being accused of. He helped create crimes. He was in concert with somebody when they went to go shoot somebody. He was with them when they went to go beat down. He sent his boy to go shoot at the hotel. Chief Keef was standing in. So he was in concert with. He wasn't somebody idly by just rapping and standing there and wasn't doing anything, and they tried to throw him under the bus. He wasn't defending himself. He was saving himself and only looking out for him and throwing everybody else under the bus. When he was in concert and he created, most of them got in trouble for him. For all the dumb stuff he was trying to have them do. One of the guys never even had a criminal record. And then he had him go down to the hotel and shoot at the hotel that Chief Keef was staying at. So that's the difference. That's why he was arrested and charged. He wasn't being railroaded and blackmailed and bullied and he's been extorted by a gang. No, he was claiming the gang. He was a member of the gang. Right. So he was in concert with all of these things. And to save his own ass, he threw everybody under the bus, lie, cheat, steal, do whatever he can just to be free. Like he says, freedom is everything to me. And I believe that when he said that in court. He'll do anything to weasel his way out of anything. He'll sell out anybody. So shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV, The Dreamers Pro, Damn DPOV. That was supposed to be his friend. He threw him under the bus. See y'all on the Patreon. I'm out. I hope we're out.